But you know it is a right-wing group. These QAnon motherfuckers over in Germany.
Are you okay?
I think we're done with this. I just saw that. It really pissed me off. They're labeling it right-wing stuff. But this is definitely a right-wing story. You asked me about this earlier this week, I think.
Yes, but first I want to remind everyone to like, subscribe, comment, share this with all your friends and everything. Of course, we got lots of new people here, so I just wanted to.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I have a button for that. I forgot.
There you go.
Boop.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Ooh,
Look at that.
there you go.
And it bounces.
There you go.
So yeah, earlier this week, there was a massive sting operation done all throughout Europe. Dozens of people were detained by German police this week over allegations that a QAnon-inspired fringe group planned to overthrow the government and install a new leader in a violent coup. Germany's chief federal prosecutor, Peter Flunk, said some 3,000 officers took part in raids at 150 sites across the country. More arrests were expected to take place in the coming days, authorities say. So the plot here. See this guy right here? This guy right here in the kind of like the tweed action there.
Yep.
His name is Heinrich VIII, Prince of Rus. So he is an old, long removed royal from the 19th century Russian royal aristocracy.
Damn, son.
Yes. And he is the leader behind this whole entire operation. And he has built up a large group of cells that all kind of have different hardcore right-wing kind of like cells all throughout Germany and throughout Europe. And he's kind of like this mastermind, all this stuff. And his whole key, what they got him on was they had a plot to kidnap, I believe, the health minister of Germany at that point and then hold them ransom. And ultimately their whole plan was to overthrow the German government and re-usher in the era of the Second Reich, which is before Hitler came around, before the Nazis, before Bismarck even.
So
this
they're
was the
not
old
Nazis.
They're imperialists.
Oh.
And he wanted to become the new king of Germany in the old school imperial German model.
I wonder if imperial is just better or worse than Nazi.
I mean, I'm a fan of monarchs. I think at the end of the day, I'm there at that point. It's much easier to overthrow the king than it is to overthrow a modern day government.
Yeah.
So, might be down with that if you wanted to persuade me. But
Look at them black clad cops too.
oh yeah, the German secret dudes, they're badasses, man. I mean, they look like you all kitted up, all in black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bad look.
I
Bad
mean,
look for a regular person.
yeah, if you don't want to look like a Fed, yeah, it's
Yeah. I get a new kit. I gotta
Yeah.
get a new kit.
Yeah, when you look at the picture of this guy and you start digging into the story, I was like, this is too insane. I got to tell you about this whole thing.
That's wild.
Yeah. And because what the hell? They're not going to overthrow the largest, most powerful economy government in Europe. That's not going to happen with a small group of individuals like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's especially in a country that's deeply involved in a larger, more regional government on top of their national government. They got multiple layers here, man. It's not just the EU would come in and stomp your dick into the dirt if Heinrich VIII rose to power and all his cronies somehow or other neutralized the rest of the German government. The EU in its combined force is going to come in and ruin your fucking day.
So I want to talk for a second because they talked about this on Start Here.
Okay.
Right? And they had a woman from a German member of parliament that they had on, and they asked her about, what do you think about just this wild shit that happened, okay? And she said a really similar kind of thing to what you said. She's like, I didn't think, they were going to overthrow the government because that's just not going to happen here. She said, but it was, wild to think that because they could have come in and like really hurt some people or killed some people, and that would have been really bad. So the thing I want to talk about is to compare and contrast, or really just contrast, the reaction from this woman who they just arrested hundreds of people in an actual legitimate, actually plotted out legitimate violent plot to overthrow their government.
Yeah.
And a member of parliament there is like, yeah, no, it was wild, but also they're not going to do anything. And people here, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, for example, who was in a completely different part of the Capitol than from what was happening, she's like, I was pretty certain that I was going to be murdered by the person who came to save me from what was happening.
And this was, checking the timeline, well before any of the shit really popped off on Jan 6 too.
So she couldn't actually know how violent anything had been yet, but...
or how violent it was going to be.
Right. This woman who actually maybe could have died, right?
Yeah.
Actually maybe could have died had this been allowed to pop off. If they were able to execute this plot they had, she might have actually died. That's the thing. She really might have died. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, who was never in danger of dying at any point in time.
Nope.
Still says, I was pretty certain I was going to die.
She got PTSD, man.
And also, they're trying to overthrow the government. And it really almost happened.
Yes.
Like, they're still saying that. And this woman who actually was in danger of dying, it's like, yeah, it was wild. You know, it was crazy that they were doing that.
But they weren't going to do anything.
Nah, they might have killed some people, and that would have been really unfortunate. She wasn't flip about it. She was very genuine of like, like it's very dangerous. They could have killed people, but also reassuring of, but they were never going to overthrow the government. Like that was never going to happen. You have members of Congress, active leadership in Congress, that are saying these people that we're putting on trial right now almost overthrew the government. They almost murdered everybody in here and overthrew the government. They took a shit at Nancy Pelosi's office and they almost overthrew the government. They're still telling you that. But this woman, this member of parliament in Germany, who again, it's got to be the third time, actually was in danger of dying. Actually, provably, verifiably, was actually in danger of dying. So yeah, it was wild. It's crazy that's what they were doing. Yep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, never actually in danger of dying, still maintains that she might have died, and that these people who are still being held, well, you know, for an undetermined amount of time, that they really almost overthrew the government.
It really puts some things into perspective, doesn't it?
You can't talk about it enough because it's so ridiculous. And the fact that ABC played it like it was nothing. Like it doesn't undercut all of their narrative of Jan 6th the whole time. They just put it out there that this is what she thinks, and isn't it crazy? But hold on. You're still arguing the Jan 6th narrative. If you do an episode on it tomorrow, you'll still be arguing the same narrative that these fucking idiots, these oath keepers, who we all regard as assholes, we all think they're fucking idiots, right?
And all going up on seditious conspiracy.
Pretty much all of us think they're idiots, right? You're still arguing that those people almost overthrew the government. But this guy, whose grandfather was a king, okay? I mean, what are we doing? What are we talking about here?
I mean, every now and again, Europe gets something right, I guess, right? If they want to do a coup, they're going to try to do a coup.
At least they really were doing it. At least they're really doing it. This guy's like, yo, I'm like a king, you know? So we should,
bro, I'm royalty, okay?
This monarchy is still legitimate. Let's go.
Oh, dude. Oh, one of the other really funny things, too, about this story, when I was looking into it, I didn't pull him up, but this guy, he's kind of been in the news relatively around over time, and he's always wearing the same jacket. Like, he don't have multiple suit money.
I wonder what the story is with that. You just think he's just not that well off?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. I would be really interested to dive into this guy's life and just find out like who the hell Heinrich the Eighth is.
Documentaries on him.
There's got to be at this point, or there will be. There definitely will be.
Just made by these people.
Oh yeah,
like these assholes.
Somebody call Vice right now. Get them on the phone.
Yeah,
get over there and make me an awesome docu-series about this.
The thing Vice would
6 episodes.
They'll pay all these black-clad German police officers to get interviews and stuff.
Oh, yeah. They could do them in their ski masks.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
They'll do a couple stories, one about this, and one about how they're, like, dealing drugs or something like that. It'll all be, and they'll all use the same ski masks.
Oh, yeah.
Just change their kit, you know. Rip off the police thing and put a drug dealer thing on there, and they'll be good to go.
So, yeah, that's fun. That's fun stuff.
Wild.
I like that comparison between the Jan 6 stuff and a God's honest real life coup attempt.
Actually,
that was way bigger.
You know,
exponentially larger in size.
Yeah,
I guess the major difference there, probably why they get to continue to use this in their narrative here, is because of the riotous aspect of it. seemed, it seems crazy. It seems more wild because of all the people that were outside and the mobs and the climbing of the fucking columns. And, it was very, very different in how it played out versus
the optics of it.
Yeah, the optics of it.
Because it's verifiable,
and it's all optics,
that it was a riot. Like everybody, everyone. That is still the dominant narrative. That even though there wasn't a plot, that everyone, the corporate media is claiming that there is, because there's no way to prove that. Even in these Oathkeeper trials, they're saying they didn't have a plan when they got there, but then they were there and they're like, let's go for it.
Yep.
Okay, so there wasn't a plot. There never existed a plot for any type of overarching thing to happen. Even the Oathkeepers that are being found guilty of seditious conspiracy.
Is it like 4? 4 or 5,
just a
maybe?
small handful.
Yeah, it's a
something
small
like that.
handful.
Yeah. Even these guys who are being found guilty of seditious conspiracy, right, who are being tried for these things, even they didn't have a plot. These people had an actual organized plot.
Yes.
It's just because that was a riot in a year where we had dozens of riots around the country where shit got wild.
Literal, whole sections of towns being burned down.
Portland, for over 100 days in a row, they attacked a federal building because this one was
fire bombs every day for over 100 days straight. Let us not forget. Let us not forget what was the date of the other insurrection? The leftist insurrection.
like May something or whatever.
Yeah, when they broke through the barriers and tried to burn down the church, and
this one had special people
put Donald
inside
Trump
of it.
in the security bunker.
This one had special people inside of it. That's why this matters.
Yeah.
Excuse me, is because this building had special people inside of it. This one had really, really special people inside of it who had to put bags over their heads because they were so scared of what you might do. When in the federal building, you just had to go to work.
Yeah.
Just had to keep fucking going to work. When Antifa and all these crazy guys are outside literally throwing firebombs at the building. Just keep on trucking.
Just keep on keeping on, baby.
Yep,
Don't worry.
trucking.
And if you try to send the feds in to quell them, that's just a sign that we've gone full fascist. We can't do that. So we just have to let this play out. The local state police aren't going to do anything about it, and the federal cops inside the building, if we try to defend ourselves at all, other than put the fires out, then we're labeled fascists. So there's that.
If you throw back the shit that people are throwing at you, you're an asshole.
Can't do that.
It's too much.
It's too much, baby.
It's too much.
It's so much.
And ABC just doesn't see the irony in it at all. They play both of these stories with the same level of seriousness. But in this one, it's almost funny to them. It's just so wacky.
It's so wacky. Look at all this weirdness.
Yeah. The fuck, dude.
That's good stuff. Hey everybody, Colin here from Salt the Streets. Thank you for watching today's edition of Salty Shortz. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to check out the full episode right here on the Salt of the Streets YouTube channel. Please give us a like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to share this with all your friends. And you too can become a spreader of the message of liberty. Thanks.
Welcome to the Salt of the Streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready.